Today I'm sharing with you my ultimate packing guide, my what's in my summer carry-on backpack. This is everything I bring with me in my personal item to make sure that I can travel the world comfortably and make money while on the road. So this is everything that you will need if you're interested in becoming a digital nomad, or if you're interested in taking on more of that full-time travel lifestyle. Keep watching. If you're new here, welcome. I'm Alex. I'm a digital nomad splitting my time between LA, Italy, Mexico, and other amazing parts of the world. I absolutely love traveling, but one thing I'm not is a minimalist. I like to travel with all of the items and products that make me feel like me. It helps me keep a routine and feel healthy while on the road for, 3, 6, 9 months at a time. I'm gearing up for a big block of travel. I'll be on the road for the next few months. So definitely hit the subscribe button down below if you want to follow along on my travel adventures. But let's get into my new travel backpack and what I'm keeping in it to set me up for success for the next 6 months of travel. So I did a similar video this time last year with the Lululemon Wanderlust backpack, and I have since upgraded to a really, really incredible backpack that I'm super excited to share with you. This is the TropicFeel Hive backpack. Now, I have lusted over this backpack for ages and was wary, wasn't sure if I could justify the price point, because I'll tell you right now, it's not cheap. Now, TropicFeel was kind enough to gift this to me as part of a collaboration that we did earlier this year, but this was several months ago, and I really took my time to feel the backpack out and see if it's something that I wanted to recommend to my audience. So today I'm going to get into the pros and the cons, because yes, there are cons to this backpack. So I'm going to share with you how I've packed it and whether I'd recommend it for you. So this backpack got a lot of attention when it first launched because it is a modular backpack. It starts out, I believe, at around 22 liters and can expand up to 42 or 45 liters. So it gives you a lot of flexibility in terms of how much you want to pack in here. And I have to say, I noticed right away when I tried this out, there are a lot of amazing details built into this backpack, but there are definitely some cons that you really want to be aware of before you purchase, before you make the investment. So let's jump in. So right now I have this in its fully expanded mode. So you have the main backpack compartment, you have this kangaroo pouch here, and this is a really interesting design that I've never seen on any other backpacks. You have a kangaroo pouch that has a packing cube in it. So this packing cube just removes and you can easily take out your clothes. You could also, if you're going on a shorter trip, just remove that part altogether and stuff that little sling down in here, and it just becomes a standard front pocket. You have a detachable front pocket. So this is a pretty decent depth, and this is a zippered pocket that folds out and holds quite a bit of stuff, gives good organization, but you can easily pull these tabs and remove that. So again, kind of bringing this backpack down even more in volume if you are on a smaller trip. Down below, there's another section here that actually rolls up and folds into the backpack. So I have it expanded down below, but that could even roll up and you would just have a flat bottom to the backpack here. So really interesting design. You can tell they spent a lot of time, they put a lot of thought into thinking up the perfect way to design a backpack for travelers, for people who are constantly on the road. But I have to say, the thing that caught my attention the most actually was the back of the backpack. The lumbar support and the back support on this backpack is an absolute game changer for me. Having now been on the road for 3+ years constantly, there was a moment where I just had continuous back pain and kinks in my neck from using backpacks that weren't really ergonomically designed or weren't designed to carry a lot of weight. And this has been an absolute game changer. So you have these two really well padded straps and they fit the body incredibly nicely. Like, I'm a busty girl, I'm a 34F, and a lot of times backpacks, especially backpacks that are designed by men for men, just don't hit well and they kind of clash up against my boobs, to be honest, and they're very awkward to strap into. And this has a really nice silhouette. It feels super comfortable for, a female body, in my opinion. The back support gives so much support. I mean, there's just like a ton of cushion back here. And the piece de resistance, the most incredible design detail in my opinion is the belt strap. So it has a belt strap that does a great job of being a belt strap, but B, it turns into a fanny pack. So this really blew me away when I first saw it, but the strap is held in by Velcro, and you basically just detach the Velcro and shimmy this out, and it becomes a fanny pack. I mean, get out of here. That's freaking incredible, right? This is definitely one of the coolest details. It has 2 pockets. It can hold your phone, your wallet, some chapstick, perfect for just like running out the door or going on a hike. And it's really not too difficult to take in and out either. I just slid it through, kind of center it, press down to get the Velcro to attach again. All right, so let's really jump into the contents of the backpack. That's what we're here for. What's in my travel backpack? So I'll start with the top pocket up here. This is kind of just like a quick stash pocket. It's decently deep, and I store my sunglasses in the case here. And then I have 2 things of chapstick. I have my Aquaphor, and then I have some Supergoop chapstick in here up top. In my Wanderlust backpack, there was a similar pocket, and I talked about it being really unsafe for fragile items because it would always like flop on the floor. This is built into the backpack. It's even lined with some felt, so very secure and padded. So you can put anything from sunglasses. I also usually put my AirPods in there. Really great, just like quick, handy storage spot. Then you open the main compartment. Dun, 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 dun. This is the main compartment of the backpack. This is why it's called the clamshell backpack. It has a clamshell opening, and you've got the largest storage space going on. You've got first and foremost the largest storage space. So starting with the first item, I have started traveling always with my toiletry bag in my personal item. I do this for a few reasons. Number one, it helps distribute the weight a little bit between my carry-on and my personal item because I'm always traveling carry-on only, and usually my carry-on is at weight or overweight. This is a decent amount of the weight that I travel with because again, I like to have a lot of my products. So this is the first thing that goes into my backpack to make sure I have a decent amount of space for it. This is my BagSmart toiletry bag. I've done a whole video about what's in my toiletry bag that I will link in a card here, and I will link the BagSmart bag down below because this is my favorite toiletry bag. Then I have a few other essentials. This is a newer addition. This is a tech pouch. So like a lot of other content creators and digital nomads, I do travel with a tech pouch. It's definitely not organized, but yes, I have a full-time job at a tech company, and I also do content creation. So this is a very much an essential and one of the most important things in my backpack. I have everything from my SSD drive to chargers to light and anything basically I need to stay powered up and make great content. So this is a really important bag, and this is also a BagSmart bag. I'll link this down below. Next, I have my Bose headphones. So yes, I always travel with 2 pairs of headphones. I have my AirPods for day-to-day use, and then I have my Bose headphones. These are what I use when I'm doing more like video work. They're very important to make sure that I can hear sound really clearly on any sort of video. And also as a music person, like these are just incredibly important to me. The sound quality that you get from these is just really incredible. And they're also a really important mental health tool in my opinion, especially as a digital nomad, because the noise canceling on these is really strong. And so I can do all sorts of activities with other people in the room. Like my partner and I can share a studio apartment, and I can meditate with these. I can work all day with these on and really feel like I'm having that alone time, that quiet space. So these are really essential for me. Next, I have my Kindle. This is just standard Kindle. I do have have it in a case because I scratched up the surface of my first Kindle, and I also would always just like accidentally turn it on and it would constantly run out of battery. So I just have this very simple marble case that I believe I got off of Etsy, designed by Finite. There it is. And yeah, Kindle is another essential for me. I love a physical book, but they're just not practical when you're traveling full time. So I mostly use the Libby app to download free books and then have it linked to my Kindle so I can get them for free. And then lastly, for now, I have my speaker. Yes, I always travel with a speaker. Like I said, I'm a huge music person, and there are so many moments when I'm traveling where music will really make or break a moment. And honestly, I'm always thankful that I have this, from like, you know, having really budget rental cars that don't have any way to plug in an aux cord to like, you know, having a little gathering. Music is always makes the situation better. This is the UE Roll. So it's really flat. That's why I like it. It's flat and it packs down well. Not the most incredible battery life ever, but what can you expect from a little mini travel speaker? But great essential. And then this section is really interesting. Here we have some mesh pockets. I don't really have anything in here right now. I was storing pens in here, but I wanted quicker access, so I have them in the front now, which you'll see in a second. Then I have my red passport holder. This section is here. I could probably put my passport up top. I just really secure with my passport and like to have it in this red pouch. And then here, these are my blue light glasses for when I'm working. They're not actually Ray-Bans. They're definitely off of Amazon. So yeah, these are some blue light glasses. Blue light glasses have helped me a ton in preventing headache, preventing eye fatigue, and I'm learning a lot about how blue light really impact your hormones, especially women's hormones. So these are an absolute essential for me, and I take them everywhere. And then lastly, this is the computer slot. So I don't actually have my computer in here right now because I'm using it to help me film. I do have my iPad. So yes, I do have my 16-inch MacBook Pro and my iPad Air that fit in this slot. So yeah, interesting design, interesting choice of like where to put it, because that means this flap becomes really heavy, but ultimately I think it's pretty safe, it's padded and secure, so that has been working pretty well. So you'll notice that there definitely was room to spare in the main compartment of the backpack, but I've learned that if your backpack, if your suitcase, if your travel items are packed to the brim when you're heading out on a trip, you're in trouble, because if you're anything like me, you love collecting items on your travels and you love bringing home a piece of your adventures. And so I try to keep a little bit of space open, especially at the beginning of my packing, to make sure that I will have enough space. All right, let's jump into some of the other pockets. So like I said, this does have a very interesting built-in packing cube. I think it's a really interesting feature. This little hook is often problematic, so that's my only gripe with this feature thus far. Okay, got it finally. So you pull out this packing cube. It's a pretty decent size, which is exciting. I would say the more you pack it full, the harder this backpack becomes to slide under the seat in front of you. So just be wary of that. But I have just packed this up as an example. I haven't packed it super full, which again, I'll try not to do because that'll make it more challenging to use as a personal item. However, when I travel, when I do weekend trips or, you know, shorter trips where I don't want to bring my rolling carry-on, I will pack this up as kind of my clothes closet storage, and that becomes incredibly handy. So you're not having to take 2 pieces of luggage with you, but you do have a way to kind of keep your clothes separate. So yeah, this is really well designed. It has a hook even that you could hook in your hotel or hostel room. I've seen people hanging it in their vans if they're van lifers. Yeah, this makes for a really cool kind of closet system. I just have some undergarments in these pockets, and then in this main pocket, I have some random clothes that I used on my last trip. I have a dress, a skirt, some bathing suits. So yeah, really well designed, and it's a really great touch. This is definitely more useful when I'm doing short trips and I I don't want to bring an additional suitcase or duffel bag with me. But again, I'm wary of stuffing it really full when I'm getting on a plane because it makes it hard to use your backpack as a personal item. All right, next, let's talk about the sides of the backpacks, because here is where I have a gripe yet again. On my last two videos, so I have a video with my Wanderlust backpack from Lemon. I also have a video with the eBags City Safe backpack, and both of them in general, most travel backpacks that I've used always miss the mark on the water bottle holder. And this seems like a small detail, but it's so critically important, especially if you're traveling to developing countries or if you're doing any sort of, wilderness travel where you need to carry a lot of water with you. You need to carry your own drinking water. It drives me crazy when backpacks have small water bottle holders because ultimately means that I'm either going thirsty more often than I'd like, or I'm spending money buying water, wasting on plastic water bottles, generating more waste with single-use plastic water bottles, and I just hate it. I really hate it. And unfortunately, I don't think they've hit the mark with this water bottle holder. So this is actually a new bottle that I have recently picked up, and this is a 24-ounce bottle, and this barely fits. Like, this feels like it's gonna bust out of this pocket. I typically like to travel with a 40-ounce water bottle, and there is absolutely no way that this backpack can accommodate that. So that's definitely a bummer for me. So yeah, it is stretchy. I will say, I think 24 ounces is the max you're gonna get out of this pocket, and I really wish it was bigger. But let's talk about this water bottle. So I haven't even actually used it yet. It still has the tag on it. I was in the market for a more versatile bottle because I am often teetering between needing some sort of cup for cold drinks and hot drinks. In the past, I've traveled with like a traditional water bottle and then a thermos, but that felt like it was adding too much to my load, and I would much rather find a solution that could cover both bases. So this is the Stanley Quick Flip Go bottle, and I like it because it works kind of as a standard like wide mouth water bottle like this, but it also has this top that screws on. You flip the latch and pop this open, and it becomes kind of like a thermos style cup, like something I would drink coffee or tea out of. So I'm really excited to try out this new bottle. I'll link it down below. It also has some hooks that you can hook onto your fanny pack, a backpack, any sort of gear that you have, and it's pretty secure because it has this little snap. I will say there were some reviews that talked about this plastic top feeling kind of cheap, and I have to agree with them. Like, it just doesn't feel like the sturdiest item in the world, so be careful about dropping this. But otherwise, I'm really liking it, and it thankfully does actually barely fit. All right, the other side of the backpack has these two straps, and I saw in their demo video, I think these are intended for like hiking poles or things like that. I use them to hold my tripod, so you're currently sitting on my larger tripod, but that usually slots in here, and then I have my kind of handheld tripod here as well. This is a convenient way to keep them kind of out of the way without having them take up storage space in the main compartment. And I would say these straps are pretty versatile. So there's no bottom here, so if you had anything really heavy, it would slide out. Like, I don't think this would be a good spot for another water bottle, for example, but the straps are convenient and you can really kind of cinch something in and know that it's gonna stay put. All right, then moving on to this additional pouch. So this pouch is attached with some magnetic clip, and I think they're really well designed. They feel really nice and just pop out as soon as you want to take this off. I will often remove this when I'm on a plane and put this in a seat pocket in front of me so that the backpack is more flush and it's easier to push underneath the seat in front of me. So just a little tip, but for that reason, I often keep my Inflight Essentials in here. So I don't have this packed to the brim either right now, but I just have your standard Inflight Essentials. I have 2 pens and a highlighter. here. I have a pack of tissues. I have some Ricola cough drops in this little pocket, and I have a external battery charger in this pocket. So yeah, I'll probably try to keep this section pretty open. I might have a few other things in here like wipes or a spray to stay fresh when I'm on the plane. And then in here, I have my vitamins. So vitamins are a really important part of my wellness routine, and I always make sure to travel with full bottles of my vitamins. So I just have my magnesium in here right now. But as I get closer to my departure date, I'll fill this up with my other vitamins and other in-flight essentials like an eye mask, things like that I'm currently using right now. But yeah, this is like a very handy in-flight essentials station, and I like the way that it just clicks on and off of the backpack. All right, and lastly, I want to talk about the very bottom section here. So this is actually where I store my yoga mat. If you saw my last video, you'll know that traveling with my yoga mat is super important for my wellness routines, my fitness routine. I have the Manduka travel mat, and this has been a great companion for me. It is quite thin. It doesn't give you a ton of cushion, but it's a great like non-stick surface or kind of a softer surface if you are on any sort of like cement or things like that in your travels, your Airbnb. My Wanderlust Lululemon backpack had straps that I would just stick this in, and that worked really well. I like the advantage here of having a pouch so that, my yoga mat used to get caught on a lot of stuff when I was traveling. It would come unraveled and that would become a mess. So this has been a really great and convenient spot for it. And plus it just gives like a whole other layer of protection to all the things in my backpack, like my computer, my devices. This is like, pretty cushiony and great protection. But I've seen other people put like shoes in here, or, if you had any sort of like wet items, like a bathing suit while you're traveling, you can do that. And if you don't need this section, you just roll it up like this and you stick it in the pouch. And voila, it is tucked away and you have a smooth bottom to your backpack. And then lastly, you do have an expansion zipper. Open this up and you can fit even more in the main compartment. Again, I leave that closed unless I'm doing some sort of shorter weekend trip or something like that, because otherwise it would be hard to use this as a personal item. All right, so that is everything for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. If you found this helpful, please hit the thumbs up button. And if you're interested in following me along on my travel adventures this summer, as I show you all of my thrifting, my fashion and lifestyle inspo all around the world, please hit the subscribe button down below. It really helps my channel grow and it helps me bring more videos to you all each and every week. Leave me questions down below if you have any about the backpack or my travel packing system. I'm happy to answer any questions you have. I post new videos every single week, so until next week, bye.